All right, let's talk about aging. Today, we're going to flip the switch on everything you thought you knew. We're cutting through all the noise about superfoods and fad diets to get to the real science. We're talking Nobel Prize-winning science on how to live a longer, healthier life. Let's dive right in.
So, does this sound familiar to you? You're trying to do everything right, you know? You're picking the quote-unquote healthy options, you're staying away from junk food, but you still feel kind of tired, maybe a little inflamed, and the number on the scale just keeps creeping up. It's so frustrating, and it's a huge sign that we're missing a major piece of the puzzle.
Well, here's that missing piece, and it's a bit of a paradox. The real secret isn't about packing in more kale smoothies or goji berries. It's about understanding that our bodies have these incredibly powerful built-in repair systems that only get turned on when we strategically take a step back. It's less about what you eat and so much more about when you don't.
So here's our game plan for today. We're going to start with the longevity paradox. Then we'll get into the incredible power of timing. After that, we'll look at food as a set of instructions for your body. And finally, we'll tie it all together into a super simple daily plan you can actually use. Okay, let's kick things off with this first big idea. And it's one that completely flips the more is better myth on its head. It turns out our cells don't get younger when life is all comfortable and easy. Nope, they actually get younger when they're faced with just the right amount of challenge.
Think about that for a second. This idea is so revolutionary. It actually won a Nobel Prize. The discovery that our cells renew themselves, not when everything is perfect, but when they face a little bit of healthy stress. Now, this isn't about hardship, not at all. It's about a strategic challenge that wakes up our body's own repair systems. It's a total 180 from the conventional wisdom that tells us to always be comfortable.
And the name of this incredible process is autophagy. The easiest way to think about it is to picture your body as a big, bustling city. Every single day, trash builds up, right? Damaged parts, old proteins, junk. Well, autophagy is the city's elite cleanup crew. It goes around, gathers all that garbage, and recycles it into new parts. Without this crew, the city just gets bogged down in its own junk.
And here is the absolute key. Your body cannot build the city and clean the city at the same time. It's one or the other. Every time you eat, you send a signal to your body, grow, build. So, if you're eating and snacking all day long, that repair switch, autophagy, is basically stuck in the off position. The cleanup crew is just sitting around on a permanent coffee break, waiting for a call that never comes. So what controls that switch between growing and repairing? Well, that brings us to part 2, the power of timing, and more specifically, the master hormone that runs the whole show, insulin. Seriously, forget about counting calories for a minute. Learning to manage your insulin might be the single most important thing you can do for longevity.
Okay, think of it like these two pathways are gears inside your cells. When you eat, especially protein and carbs, your insulin goes up and it spins the big orange gear. That's a pathway called mTOR. It's your body's build, grow signal. But here's the catch. When that mTOR gear is constantly spinning, it physically blocks the blue gear, AMPK, from turning. And AMPK is the repair and recycle signal that puts the brakes on aging. The whole secret is just letting them take turns.
So how do you actually do that? How do you control it? It's actually way simpler than you might think. First, a simple food order trick. Eat your carbs after you've had your protein and fiber. Second, stop grazing. Compress your eating into 2 or 3 solid meals. Third, when you do eat carbs, choose ones that are wrapped in fiber, like berries or beans. And finally, one of my favorites, just take a short walk after you eat.
And please, don't sleep on that last tip. A simple 10 to 15-minute walk, we're talking just a stroll around the block, can slash that blood sugar spike after a meal by up to 30%. 30%. That is an incredibly powerful tool for keeping insulin in check with almost zero effort.
This brings us to our third big idea, and this is where things get really cool. Food isn't just calories. It's not just fuel. It is information. It's a complex set of instructions that you send to your cells, instructions that can literally turn your longevity genes on or off.
The principle at work here is called hormesis. You've probably heard the saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? Well, this is that exact idea, but happening on a microscopic cellular level. A small, healthy dose of stress, say from certain compounds in plants, actually makes your cell's defense systems more resilient and stronger overall. And where do you find these little cellular workouts? In the beautiful, vibrant colors of everyday plants. We're talking about amazing compounds called polyphenols. You find them in things you probably already love, like great extra virgin olive oil, green tea,
dark berries, even high-quality dark chocolate and coffee. They act like messengers that tell your body, hey, power up the defense systems.
But here's the thing, you don't do it alone. There's a critical partner in this process, your gut microbiome. The trillions of good bacteria in your gut take these polyphenols that you eat and they transform them into even more powerful anti-inflammatory pro-longevity compounds. So a healthy gut is absolutely essential to unlocking the full power of these foods.
Okay, we've gone through a lot of the why. We've covered the science. Now let's put it all together. Let's make it practical. Here's a simple, daily plan you can literally start using tonight.
The absolute #1 most important habit is timing your last meal. If you do nothing else, do this. Finish eating at least 3 hours before you go to bed. This lets your insulin levels fall, which is so critical for getting deep sleep and for allowing crucial repair hormones, like growth hormone, to do their magic overnight.
Building on that, you create a consistent overnight fasting window. Just aim for somewhere between 12 to 14 hours. It's super simple. If you finish dinner at 7 p.m., you just have your first meal the next day around 9 a.m. This is not starvation. Please don't think of it that way. It is structured metabolic rest. It's giving your body that dedicated time for cleanup.
Now, how you break that fast is just as important as how long you do it. If your first meal of the day is a glass of orange juice and a bagel, that massive sugar and insulin spike will instantly slam the brakes on all that wonderful cellular cleanup you just accomplished. Instead, break your fast with protein and fiber. That sets a calm, stable metabolic tone for the entire day.
And what about protein? It's so important for muscle, but we also know that constant protein keeps that mTOR growth pathway turned on all the time. The solution is to pulse it. Aim for 2 solid protein-rich meals, not snacking on protein bars all day long. This gives you the signal you need to build and maintain muscle, but it also creates space for those repair pathways to work in between.
So if you only take one single thing away from all of this, let it be this. True longevity isn't about harsh restriction. It's not about deprivation. It's about rhythm. It's about finding that natural daily cycle between periods of eating and periods of fasting, between growth and repair. You build and then you clean. That's how your body was designed to work. The science is totally clear on this. Your body already has its own powerful anti-aging system, and it's just waiting for you to activate it. It's not a magic pill, it's not some expensive cream, it's a switch. The only question left is, when are you going to decide to flip it on?